this year. And then we also have Gina. Gina is 15 years old. Now Anya and Gina are full sisters and they do love each other very much. They do share sisterly kisses, but when there's lots of people looking, they do get a little bit embarrassed, a little bit shy. So to make sure that they don't stay like this, we're going to give them lots of encouragement and lots of claps. So when you see them doing this, it means they want lots of encouragement. Now they will do that hand gesture if they feel like they deserve a nice big round of applause. So we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled, keep a good look on those sea lions, just to make sure that we are clapping when they feel like they deserve it. We do get lots of people coming into Blackpool Zoo and they get really excited, run into the arena and say, wow, look at those seals. Now, these are not seals, these are Californian sea lions. And they do get very upset when they get mistaken for seals. So we're going to show you a couple of differences between seals and sea lions. So if you look at the side of Gina's head there, she does have a little flap of skin. It's a little external ear, just like mine or yours. Now seals wouldn't have this, they would have a hole in their side of their head covered with fur that you would not be able to see. Now that is a very small difference, and we appreciate that even people on the back row might not be able to see that so well. So girls, can we see your flippers? Fantastic. So if you look at the size of Alex's hand, it's roughly around the same size as a seal's flipper. So compared to Anya's, there is a massive size difference. Around 4 times bigger is a sea lion's flipper. Now because of this size difference, it means that seals and sea lions move completely differently on the land. Now Gina's going to show us exactly how she moves. She's very elegant, very graceful. She can support all her body weight on all 4 flippers so her belly doesn't touch the floor. She can run, she can jump, and she could even run up and down stairs if she really wanted to. You can see just how elegant she is. But Gina, can you show our audience exactly how a seal might move? Just like that, with her belly on the floor, using her small front flippers to drag herself along. She's not very elegant, not very graceful at all. And that is why she does not like to be mistaken for a seal. So a nice big round of applause for our sea lions there. Now hopefully with those differences, we're never going to make that mistake again. So here at Blackpool Zoo, we do train our sea lions. So we train them using something called positive reinforcement. And it all starts with a target stick. So it's a white stick with a red end. Now our sea lions are very motivated to put their noses on the end of that stick and follow it wherever Alex asks it to go. Now eventually she will blow a whistle and they will get a nice fishy reward. It means that she can ask them to walk all the way across the beach. And that's really important to move them around. And it's also very good for agility and also keeping them very mentally stimulated as well. But it's not just that, it's also very important for performing medical health checks. You can see that Alex can run her hands along her, ask her to show her belly and her flippers, to take blood samples and even perform ultrasounds if she were ever to become pregnant. Fantastic there, Anya, and a nice round of applause. Now it starts with that target stick. We can take that target stick away eventually and add subtle hand gestures. So you keep an eye out for those hand gestures. But it's not just those basic behaviours. We can also get them to exhibit their natural behaviours that they would in the wild. So Anya's going to catch some hoops on her neck today. So after every one she catches, we're going to give her a lot of encouragement and a big clap. So the first one, fantastic. She's got that one, and a second, and a third, and a fourth with a bit of a spin on. Easy peasy, fantastic there, Anya.
That was sick.
Now we do appreciate that sea lions in the wild would not be catching hoops on their necks. They would, however, use their long flexible necks in the wild in order to hunt for their favourite food, the fish. But fish don't live on the land, they live down in the water. So Gina is going to show us exactly this behaviour again, but down in the water. She's going to have to use her neck, all her muscles to get in the right position. So lots of encouragement. The first one, the second, a third, and a fourth. Fantastic. 4 out of 4. Very, very impressive there, Gina. And she wants another cheeky round of applause. Now they use their long flexible necks and their forward-facing eyes, just like we have, in order to hunt for their fish out in the wild. But it's not only that they use, they have something extra special, which is a sea lion's probably their best asset. Yes. And it is their super sensitive whiskers. Now we can show you how super sensitive they are by asking our sea lions to do this. Now they can balance a ball on the end of their nose, they can raise and drop their whiskers and move their heads accordingly to keep the ball exactly where it needs to be. Now they do love each other, they share their props as well, and again keeping that ball exactly where it needs to be. Fantastic girls, their eyes are always on Alex for that pass back. There we go, nice big round of applause. Now sea lions would use their whiskers in the wild to hunt for fish in very dark and murky waters where their eyesight might not be the best. So we can show you this behaviour again down in the water. It can take up to a year to learn how to do that ball balancing behaviour completely sat still. So we can see how impressive our sea lions are now. They're going to retrieve them from the water, again using those whiskers and keeping the ball at the end of their noses just like that. Fantastic. We've got Anya in first place and Gina, she's going to come in second. She's going to pass the ball back to Alex and expect a massive round of applause. We let Gina off though, she's a little bit older than her sister, so she's just a tiny bit slower. Fantastic girls. Now they would use those whiskers in the wild again to hunt for their favourite food, the fish. But I think we've spoken about fish quite a lot this morning, so we're going to move on to something else. Unfortunately our sea lions don't like this very much, it's their predators, animals like the killer whale. Now, sea lions in the wild do not like killer whales, they are very scary, but we don't have to be scared girls, we don't have any killer whales here at the zoo. But it's not just killer whales, there are other predators in the wild. Now we're not going to tell you what these predators are, we're going to show you. Now Gina was very good at being a seal this morning, so she's going to show us another impression, and I'm sure we can figure out what it is and shout it out nice and loud. Okay, so we know what it is, so after 3, 1, 2, 3, shout! Did you hear that, Alex? No, we're a little bit muddled, the glass is really thick, we're going to have to do that again after 3, 1, 2, 3, shout! That's better, it's very good, we're a very full audience, so I'm sure we can be even louder. So again after 3, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic, it definitely is a shark. Tiger sharks, bull sharks, even Jaws himself, the great white shark, might try to eat a sea lion out in the wild. They can swim very fast and they've got very scary teeth. But Gina, what would you do if there was a shark in your pool? You would run out onto dry land as fast as you can, and then you would hide away from those very scary predators. Fantastic, so a nice round of applause.
That's actually good.
But dry land is a sea lion's favourite place to be if there were to be predators in that water. It makes them nice and safe. But if they were hunting in the middle of the ocean, there would not be dry land for them to be able to escape out onto. It means our sea lions have a very special behaviour up their flippers in order to confuse these predators. So Anya's going to do this behaviour today, and she's going to get in the right position. So Anya, what would you do if there was a shark and you were in the middle of the ocean? You would do not 1, but 2 backflips.
Oh,
fantastic. Very, very impressive. And yeah, she wants a nice round of applause. She would do these backflips and these somersaults in order to create lots of splashes, lots of bubbles, and give the sea lions a next couple of split seconds to be able to escape any scary predators. Fantastic. But it's not just predators in the wild that are a threat to sea lions. There is something else that not only affects them in the wild, even here at the zoo, and that is rubbish and pollution. You can see there that Alex has a plastic bottle in her hand. She's going to be very naughty and she's going to throw it in our sea lion pool. Now Gina, she doesn't like rubbish in her pool at all, and she's going to take that bottle and show us exactly where it needs to go. Now those pesky seagulls pick up rubbish all the time and drop it into enclosures. But where should it go, Gina? In the bin. We've knocked the bin over, so I think we're going to try that one again. Fantastic. Back down into the water you go, Gina. We can do that one. Wonderful. So she's going to take that bottle and show us exactly where it lives. Fantastic. In the bin. Wonderful. A nice big round of applause for Gina. Now, if a sea lion can do it, ladies and gentlemen, so can you. We have to kindly ask you to take all rubbish with you from our arena today and put it in any of the bins provided. It helps us keep our zoo clean and keep rubbish out of our enclosures all around the zoo. Now, I think our sea lions and our trainer Alex have done a fantastic job today. So it's probably going to be Alex's favourite part of the display, and she's going to have a little bit of sea lion bonding time. It's very important that sea lions have a very close bond, and you can see there she's got a nice full body hug off Anya there. Now Gina, do you have something for Alex as well? She does a nice hug and a cheeky fishy kiss too. Fantastic. And that's bringing us to the end of our display, but I've got a few more things to ask of you before we do leave. Now, we waved our sea lions when they got to the front beach, and we're going to wave them off the beach now, so we can put our hands in the air and give our sea lions a nice big wave. They are going to wave us off with a very special sea lion flipper stand. Fantastic. So one last round of applause. Thank you from myself, Anya, Gina and Alex. Thank you for visiting the zoo today. If you do have any spare change for the monk seals, we do have 2 spinner buckets at the front. I also have a collection bucket on myself. Yeah, any questions, feel free to come and ask me. My name is Hannah. We also have Alex who will be joining me as well. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Blackpool Zoo.
I don't want to give the